Alright guys, welcome back to another tutorial on my channel. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make an origami person, which I know as soon as I started origami, I was like, I want to make a person. You know, it's, most tutorials I've seen on YouTube that describe how to make a person, either they're extremely hard or they just don't end up looking like a person. So, today I thought I would teach you a model that I found, and I thought, hey, this looks okay. It's a good person. And I'm going to be making mine today out of kami, which you can buy at pretty much any Hobby Lobby craft supply store. It's origami paper. It's very thin. Color on one side, white on the other. And we're going to want to start white side up. And we're going to fold this corner to that corner. Fold diagonally in half. And make sure line it up well. Okay. Crease sharply. Yeah, just like that. Unfold. And fold. We're going to make a fold that's perpendicular to this math terminology. In case you don't know, I don't script my videos, so if I just say some random blabbering like this, then that's why. Okay, now we have this X in the paper, and we're going to turn it over, right to left, left to right, however you want, doesn't really matter. And we're going to we're going to fold this top side so it aligns with this bottom side. And when you fold, you should see the white coming out on top. And crease sharply, unfold, and now we're going to make a fold perpendicular to that fold that we made. Alright, now we're going to make a triangle base, which if you've done any sort of origami before, you'll know what a triangle base is. So you see how this corner is kind of caving in, we're just going to pop it out. Bink. And collapse. Just collapse. Okay, there you have it. This is a triangle base. It's probably used for a lot of models. Not probably, it is. It's used for a lot of models. Very common. Okay, now we're going to take this top point right here, and we're going to fold it down so it touches the bottom where this line intersects with this crease. And don't let the layers slide, because, see that? We don't want that happening. Okay, so you hold down the layers so they don't slide, and you fold, and crease sharp. Okay, now you're going to unfold, and fold the top to this new intersection point. Again, hold the layers down so they don't slide. Layer sliding is muy bad. Okay, muy malo, if you want appropriate Spanish. Now we're actually going to fold the bottom down, and you got to hold it really tightly, make sure the layers don't slide. And at this point, I think it's okay if they slide a little bit, because it's really hard to keep them from sliding here. So I'll forgive you if they slide. Just a tiny bit here. And now this should look kind of like, you know, one of those origami hats that you make out of newspapers. But it's not actually. You can't wear this. There's no hole for you to open up. Okay, now we're going to unfold. And now we've divided this into fourths. What we're actually going to do is we're going to fold this top part down, and then we're going to fold the point back to where those 2 points intersect, this crease and that. Make sure it's all nice and lined up neatly and stuff. Then we're going to fold down on this crease, make sure the layers don't slide, and then fold this line so it aligns with this line. Okay. Now we're going to fold down here. Fold this, make sure everything's all creased nice and sharply. Yeah. Then, wait, if you want to crease this sharply, you can actually unfold this for a little bit just so you can reach that crease and crease it nice and sharp. Then we're going to turn over, top to bottom, bottom to top, and we're going to fold this line so it aligns with this line. And make sure the layers don't slide too much. Fold, turn back over, and then crease sharply. Okay. Now that we've got this, we divide it into eighths, kind of an accordion pattern. We're going to take, just open it up and unfold every single crease. It's kind of satisfying to do. Now you should notice we've made kind of a bunch of boxes, and they're not all facing the same way. So what we want to do, this part is a little tricky. We want to make this outer box right here that we've made, we want to make it all mountain creases. So we're just, if they're valleys, we're just going to go and reverse them. Okay, this side, all mountains, it's fine. This side, we'll reverse that. And the paper gets really stiff and it rustles a lot here, so sorry for the audio. Okay, then once we have all those mountain creases, we're going to take and we're going to make the second one all valley folds. So we're just going to take, what I like to do is you just grab this crease and just run your thumb down along, and it'll kind of make those creases valley folds. Those are already all valley folds. This one, make sure everything's nice, creased sharply. Okay, then we're going to turn it over, and we're going to make all these mountain folds. And you notice we're just kind of collapsing it towards the center. These creases won't always be perfectly lined up, so if you need to recrease some of them, that's fine. Okay, then we're going to turn back over, and we're going to push those in towards the center. Basically, you just do this all the way until you've collapsed it all. And you'll notice we get these, like, I don't know, it's like a four-pointed starfish starting to form. And just turn over, and repeat again, and again, and again, and again, until we finally reach the center. And you'll notice we started to form something here. This is not one fold. It's kind of unfortunate. Sometimes it can be a bit stubborn. Don't let this origami get the best of you. Don't give up. Keep trying until you succeed. Okay, just turn it over. In this last one, you'll notice we have kind of like that. Just push this point in and collapse. Again, you'll have a square. Just push the middle point in and collapse. Then what we're going to do is, once we have this, we're going to do this. And you'll notice here we have rough base of our person. There's no head yet. We'll want to fix that. So that's what we're going to do now. We got all the creases going the right way. Okay. Arms, legs. Now we're going to unfold this. Can be a bit not wanting to unfold sometimes. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn over right to left. And we're going to take this little middle crease right here. That one. This little crease right there. We're going to take and we're going to fold along it, but don't crease yet, because we're just going to crease from that crease upwards. We're not going to crease this bottom part here. We're only going to crease up here. Okay? Boom, like that. Then we're going to do the same thing with this crease right here. And only crease above it. Boom. Crease sharply. Okay, and now you'll notice, see, we've made a bunch of squares here. Now we're going to take with this crease and do the same thing. Okay, and then this crease, take, fold. Well, I should have said this at the beginning, but this model can be a bit tricky for beginners, so I wouldn't try this until you've mastered the crane. How about that? Okay, now we're going to turn back over so the color side is on top if you're using Kami. If you're just using printer paper cut square, it'll be white, unless you're using an odd color printer paper. And then we're just going to remake the thing we had before. But you need to make sure that this is on top. These four creases, they always stay on top. So when we turn over, we need to make sure those creases are still on top. And I've already showed you how to do this, so I'll just kind of go quicker through here. And you'll see it's easier the second time because you already have the creases made. Now you'll want to refold it like that. Make sure, yeah, those creases are still on the top. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make the head. Those creases were just preps to make the head. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of open this up until we have 2 squares of 4 units each. Open up like that. See? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you'll notice it kind of goes like, if you close it like that, it's a triangle. How about that? Now, this crease right here, we don't want that, so we're just going to push it in, right? So that this goes all the way through. Same on this side. Just push it in. Then we're going to collapse on this. Just collapse and bring it down. Again, just collapse and bring it down. And you'll notice the body's starting to form here. Okay? And then same on this side, just collapse. And this should be a valley. You should have like a diagonal valley fold right there. Collapse and bring it down. Okay? Now you'll see we kind of have the rough of the body. See, there's the legs, there's the arms. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take, and we're just going to fold the arms up like that so they can go any way they want. Fold the arms up like that, okay? With that. Now, another thing, now we're going to make it look more realistic, because that's not human. It's a fake human. You don't want that walking down the street towards you. No, you don't. So what we're going to do is we're going to thin everything out. So we're just going to fold it in half all the way up. And you'll see when we get there, when we get to the shoulder, there'll kind of be like a crease like that. Just don't worry about it there. And then what we're going to do to make the hand, we're not going to crease it all the way. We're going to kind of collapse. So see, we have it, we're going to hold it right where we want the joint, the wrist to be. And we're going to just bring it down. And kind of like that. And then we'll fold it back up. And that's the arm with no elbow. So to make the elbow, we're just going to want to like fold it like that. Fold it like that. Got it? Okay, so that's one arm made. Now we're going to do the same to make the other arm. And that doesn't look very realistic either, but it looks more realistic and it'll look better once the other arm's done. Okay, so we're just going to collapse. Then you want to make sure you have about the same size hands, because it's kind of weird if you have different size hands. Looks about the same. Okay. Make sure, and you just take and bring it down for the arm. And now we have the 2 arms done. So now what we're going to do, you can kind of, see this is a triangle base right there. Just bring it like that and you can kind of spread the legs out. Okay? Then we're going to do the same thing for the arms that we did for the legs, basically. So we're going to thin it in half, bring it in half, all the way up to the intersection of the waist. And then we're going to want to leave more space for the feet, since the feet are longer. We're going to fold back like this, and basically the same thing we did for the arms, but longer. Okay? And we'll make the knee after we make the other leg. Okay? So now we're going to make the other leg. If it's easier for you, you can turn it upside down. I'll find it easier to do that. Yeah. Make sure it's in frame. And then make sure you leave some room for the leg and fold it down. So now you see we have a guy with some straight legs. Now, to make the knees, this part might be a bit tricky. So we're going to go about halfway up, and we're just going to bend it like that, right? So that's going to be the knee. And then we're just going to collapse up to the knee here. So again, you're going to just bend it where you want the knee to be, and then just remake the folds around it. It'll make kind of like a crimp. That's called a crimp fold. If you're ever into technical origami, you need to talk about some crimp folds. That's how most joints are made. So you just take where you want the knee to be, and you just crimp it. Okay? And now you see we have kind of like a frog guy. Yeah. Okay. Now, here's what we're going to do. To make the head, we're going to collapse this like that, right? So we have it like that. We're just going to collapse it. Then bring the 2 sides of the body together. and just collapse them like that. So again, just collapse, collapse. And if you open it back up, there should be like a triangle of folds there. And then we're just gonna fold and fold, fold, fold. And you got kind of a square head. If you want, I'll show you how to round that out later after we're done. And now you notice the feet are kind of pointing backwards. So let's fix that, shall we? Well, they're just pointing straight sideways. He's a ballerina. Okay, so then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take and we're gonna line this side up with this side right here. So just take, I'm not sure if you can see that. Here, I'll bring it closer. Take and, okay, like that. And you'll notice we have all this extra right here, so we're just going to take and we're going to fold it underneath, sorry, not behind. And now you notice the foot's kind of pointed at an angle that way instead of straight sideways. And then we're going to take and repeat for the other foot. Take and line up. Then we're going to take the extra and fold it down. Okay, that makes the feet. You notice there's a little bit back here. Don't worry about it. And if you want, you can thin out the body as well. So you can do the same thing you did for the arms and legs. Just kind of fold it in half if you want. You don't have to, though. It's an optional step. And it gives the body more shape instead of just being flat, like a pancake. Incidentally, fun fact, did you know if you scaled a pancake up to the size of Kansas, you know, people usually say that Kansas is flatter than a pancake. It is indeed flatter than a pancake. If you scaled a pancake up to the size of Kansas, it'd have mountains taller than Mount Everest. So, there's your fun fact of the day. Alright, now I'll show you, if you want, how you can thin out the head. You can just leave it with the square head. I like it like that, with the square head. Makes it, then it kind of hides like, oh, it's supposed to look like that. It doesn't look bad. It's just supposed to look like that. But if you want, you can take and you can just kind of push the corners in. Here, I'll bring it. Just push the corners in. Oh, and it'll start to do all sorts of weird stuff then. Just, you know, you can fold it however you like, but if you really want to, you can put your mind to anything you want to do, and you can do that. See, and that, then it kind of looks like it's wearing a hood, if you kind of just bring it like that. And yeah, there you have it. It's a little more rounded. There's our figure. If you want the link to the video, this I found this model, Jo Nakashima. He's a very good, I hope I pronounced his name right. He's a very good origami person, origami artist, however you want to say it. His channel is the best. You should all go check it out. Watch his tutorial. I'll link it in the description. And as always, thanks for watching. And cut.